Welcome back to another episode. It is one half of your host, Sig, on today's episode. And if you're new around here, I am literally just one half of Two Guys, One Gamepad, and the other half is Rahgel. And for whatever reason, it's just me today. I don't remember why. It doesn't matter. Neither here nor there. No one cares. He will be on an episode. I just want to take a moment and play around with an episode with about a subject that I'm finding very intriguing as this grows and grows and grows and develops and evolves into more interesting and amazing features and ideas that are coming through with this. So, and just kind of clear up what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these AI generators, ChatGPT, GPT type systems, which are becoming more and more amazing. As many of you may or may not know, if you're on TikTok and you use the TikTok app, you know there is a huge AI filter that's been going around for quite some time now. You know, at least 7-8 months minimum, maybe longer. I feel like it's been over a year, but maybe longer. And really what it does is that they image display AI generator, and basically you can either upload your photo or take a picture of yourself, and the AI system will generate an image based upon what's uploaded or what's taken a picture of. Really cool concept. Doesn't always work out. I mean, it's an AI system. It's not flawless. It's not 100% perfect, but still really cool with some of the ideas you see. And if you haven't seen that, I do know Snapchat has one, but that's, from my understanding, I don't use Snapchat. I'm not a teenager. But my understanding is the Snapchat AI filter is a lot more in depth and requires a lot more permissions from the account. We're not going to get into that. So I don't use it. I don't like a lot of things having too much permissions on my systems. Just a little particular. I know there's a lot of people who are right now going, oh, but see, you're talking about social media. Yeah. I know. Trust me. I have fucking background and I understand. And it's very contradictory. But if you knew how my brain worked, we wouldn't be here today, would we? Anyways, so today's episode, we're going to go down a lane, so to speak, and we're going to play with Google's new AI experimental program, which they're calling Bard. And you can use this program if you'd like. All you have to do is go to bard.google.com. bard.google.com. And or just type in Google AI. It's really cool. Been playing around with it a bit, but this one is more of a like you type in your prompt and it gives you feedback. So we're gonna test that out a little bit. I'm gonna type in a few prompts, command structures, and see how this AI system generates back and what it generates, and I will read it back as such. So let's look at one of our past episodes and just choose as a subject. So let's find a past episode. We have so many, I fucking forget. Or I don't forget, I have way too much knowledge about all this stuff. So let's see. Let's go with one that is kind of interesting. If you listen to it, you'll know why I'm giggling. It's a really good episode. I like all of our episodes. But a while back at the beginning of season 2, Rahgel and I did a random off the wall favorite 5 wrestlers of all time, and we made it so we're like, it's basically a draft. If I picked Triple H, he couldn't have Triple H, and so on. And we did our top 5, and kind of things just devolved. So we're going to enter in to Google's AI Bard, and we're going to just ask, what are the top, we'll say, top 5 professional wrestlers of the 2000s. So that's what it's thinking about. Do. All right. So this is what came back from Bard. So it says, here's a list of the top 5 professionals of the 2000s, according to a variety of sources. Oh, God. Oh, man. Okay. So the top 5 professional sources, according to bard.google.com. So Bard AI. I am going to repeat this a million times just to make sure everyone understands. It's not me. Anyways, top 5 according to Bard. Number 5, Kurt Angle. Respectable. Number 4, Randy Orton. Number 3, John Cena. Number 2, The Rock. And number 1, I'm going to have you give me a hell yeah. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin, the rattlesnake. That's a pretty good list in my opinion. I mean, those are all solid ones. I I think I would put Cena over The Rock personally, and honestly, I think I'd put Randy Orton over The Rock too. Um, I was just more of a Stone Cold fan, but anyways, that's the top 5 it lists it gave me, and then it goes down to break down more and explaining why. So, anyways, Bart says these wrestlers were incredibly popular and successful during the 2000s, and they helped to shape the decade's wrestling landscape. They were all great in-ring performers, and they also had great characters and charisma. They were able to connect with fans on a deep level, and they helped to make wrestling one of the most popular sports in the world. Here is a brief overview of the wrestler's career. Starting from the top, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin was one of the most popular wrestlers of all time. He was the face of WWE during the Attitude Era. He was known for his rebellious attitude and his willingness to break the rules, and he helped to make wrestling more mainstream. Yeah, fair. That's a very honest point. The Rock. The Rock was another hugely popular wrestler during the 2000s. He was known for his charisma and his ability to connect with the fans, and he was also a great in-ring performer. He left WWE in 2004 in pursuit of a career in Hollywood, but he has returned to the ring several times since then. I mean, he was definitely popular. I'm gonna get so much shit, and I think Rahgel may be the one that gives me shit too. He was a good in-ring performer. I think there were better ones out there. I think John Cena, Randy Orton, and Kurt Angle, honestly, were all better in-ring performers. But neither here nor there. Let's keep moving on. Tell me, fucking Rahgel, to get sidetracked. I do this on my own. Number 3 was John Cena. Cena is one of the most successful wrestlers in WWE history. He has held the WWE Championship 16 times, and he is the face of the company today. He is known for his catchphrases and his ability to connect with the fans of all ages. That's fair. He's not the face of WWE today, but fair. Randy Orton. Orton is one of the most talented wrestlers in the world. He has won 14 championships, and he is a 7-time WWE champion. He is known for his ability to play both a babyface, which is a good guy, and a heel, bad guy. And he is one of the most consistent performers in WWE. Facts. Again, this is why I would put him over The Rock. Kurt Angle. Angle is a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, and he is one of the most decorative wrestlers in WWE history. He has won 11 world championships, and he is a 6-time WWE champion. He is known for his technical wrestling ability and his charisma. These are just a few of the many great wrestlers who competed during the 2000s. It was considered the golden age of wrestling, and these wrestlers helped to make it one of the most popular sports in the world. I honestly would agree with that. I would agree with this list. I mean, 2000. I guess maybe they're throwing The Rock in, or not The Rock. Sorry, I think they're throwing Triple H, Shawn Michaels, DX as a whole. Throwing them into the 90s, maybe. Because I think DX, but this professional wrestler, I think Triple H was a better performer than The Rock. I think Shawn Michaels was a bit. Like, I'm not trying to shit on The Rock. I'm just simply stating that when it comes to in-ring ability, I think there were better people than The Rock. The Rock was just hella amazing on the mic until he got busted by John Cena. Several years back, 6 years back now, for having his script written on his wrist, and he got busted for that hardcore. They busted his balls for hours. So, but for an AI system to come up with that and that information is really cool. I mean, they are scouring the sources to put all this. So these are all data information which you can find just by simply Googling these people. So let's go. Let's go to another episode. We did an episode about personal pet peeves. So let's see what are the. Let's just stick with five. Five is a good number. What are the top 5 personal pet peeves, statistically speaking? All right, so the question is, what are the top 5 personal pet peeves, statistically speaking? This should be interesting. Again, you get as much information as you want. The less you give, the kind of more interesting it gets. So, let's see. Come on, Bard. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. So, did a quick rundown of the list just looking at. Yeah. I see why Bard would think these are the most. I get it. Honestly, all these are all but one is a massive pet peeve of mine. One of them I don't really care too much for, but it doesn't annoy me unless they're just being obnoxious loud. But let's get into it. According to Bard AI, here are the top 5 personal pet peeves, statistically speaking. Number 1, people who chew with their mouth open. This is one of the most common pet peeves, and it's easy to see why. The sound of someone chewing with their mouth open is incredibly annoying, and it can be downright gross. It's also a sign of bad manners, which can be off-putting to others. Pause for a second. Oh my god, that's fucking accurate as hell, because I'm telling you, that is one of my biggest pet peeves. I absolutely hate, and Rahgel does it to me on our live streams every Thursday. Hate just listening to people. Oh my god, that's I get people like, oh ASMR. Fuck that. That is so annoying. So annoying. Ugh. No. Fuck that. No. That, like, we could do a whole episode just that one, but we won't. Let's move on. Number 2. This is one that's not like particular to me, but I do understand it. Number 2 is people who talk on their phones in public. This is another common pet peeve, and it's one that can be particularly annoying to certain situations. For example, if you're trying to have a conversation with someone and they are constantly interrupting you to talk on their phone, it can be very frustrating. It's also really rude to other people in the vicinity who may not want to hear conversations. Facts. Like, if I'm trying to have a conversation with you and you're over there dicking around on your phone, trying to talk to somebody else, let alone verbally talking to somebody else, no, I will stop talking, and if you are not my wife or my kids, I will walk away from you. End of conversation. End of interaction. Like, we're done. And like that one, and that would be Rahgel. That would be so annoying. I get it. And like, I work in retail, that was one of the most annoying things ever. Is you're checking somebody out and then all of a sudden you just hear them, yeah, no, I understand. No, yeah, he's just taking so long to check me out. I don't understand what's going on. They're talking about date nights, so I'm like, that's annoying. Ugh. Anyway, we're not gonna dwell on that one. Again, certain situations, absolutely agree. Number 3, people who are late. This is a pet peeve that can really get under people's skin. It's disrespectful of others people's time, and it can be frustrating to have to wait on someone who is constantly late. It's also a sign of poor planning and lack of consideration for others, and lack of respect. 100%. I added the respect part, but that's 100% correct. Are you fucking kidding me? People who are late bug the ever late. Like, unless you have a legitimate reason why, and it's like a one-off type thing. If you're always fucking late, piss off. Grow the fuck up. Learn time management. Everyone in the freaking world has a cell phone, and every cell phone has a timer, has an alarm clock, has a clock on it. Set one. Show up 5 to 10 minutes early. I'm not saying do the military tactic like myself, Rahgel, and so many other veterans did, and show up 15 to 30 minutes early. No, 5 minutes minimum. Show up early. And whether you're waiting around, just 5 minutes. Because if I have to wait more than 5 minutes for somebody else, and again, if this is not my wife, like I'm picking up from work, I get it. But if I'm waiting for you to meet up and like I'm going to an interview, we're conducting business, and you're 5 minutes late, I'm done. I've lost all respect for you. And if the interview, I've lost all respect for you and the company because clearly you don't care about other people's time and you're wasting mine. So yeah. Number 4, people who don't use their turn signal. This is a pet peeve, and this is a pet peeve that can also be dangerous as well as annoying. It's important to use your turn signals to let other drivers know what you're doing so they can adjust their driving accordingly. Not using your turn signal can lead to accidents and is just plain inconsiderate. Yes. Yes. So fucking true. 100% true. On the nose true. We don't have to get into it. As a DoorDasher and someone who just drives and loves to drive, this pisses me off. But that's enough said. Number 5, this is not a big deal for me, but it's also like it's super annoying after spending so much time in Europe and seeing how clean the city, the highway, everything is. This is annoying. People who litter. Number 5, people who litter. This is a pet peeve that's not only annoying, but it's harmful to the environment. Littering is a form of pollution. It can be contributed to the spread of litter and waste. It's a sign of disrespect for the environment and for other people. These are just a few of the most common pet peeves. Everyone has their own pet peeves, and what annoys one person may not annoy another. But these are some of the most common pet peeves that people have, according to statistic. I can't disagree. That's pretty spot on. I mean, let me know about those 5. Do you agree with that? Do you not agree with that? Because honestly, I would be very interested to see how many people think that those 5 are in fact the biggest pet peeves for themselves. Again, 4 of them definitely for me. 1 of them, depends on the situation. So, but let's move on, shall we? All right. So, what's another one we should do? We have an episode about us ranking the top 5 video games. So let's see what Google Bard AI comes up. So let's phrase this. What video games are the highest grossing of all time? All right, so what video games are the highest grossing of all time? This is a question of which we are asking Google Bard, like in AI. So we'll give it some time to think. All right. Oh, so if you just simply ask what video games are the highest grossing of all time, it provides a chart. And it says, here's a list of the highest grossing video games of all time as of May 2023, which is today that we're recording it. It is important to note that these figures are estimates and can vary depending upon what sources. All right, so of course, this isn't guaranteed to be 100% factual, but let's start from the bottom and work our way up top. Number 10 highest grossing video game of all time is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Infinity Ward. By Infinity Ward. It came out in 2011. It sold 30.7 million units and revenue $2.2 billion. Again, all depending upon sources, and this is using Google Bard. So don't shit on me just because I'm reading off what Google Bards came up with. All right. Number 9, Pokemon Red and Blue. Wow. Really? Okay. Pokemon Red and Blue by Game Freak. It came out February 27th, 1996. Sold 47.5 million units and grossed $2.5 billion in revenue. The new Super Mario, publisher, of course, is Nintendo. It was released November 15, 2006. Sold 30.6 million units, grossed $2.1 billion. Now, hold on. 2.1 billion is a lot less than Pokemon Red and Blue and Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It sold... What the shit? Okay. They just lost all credit on this one. Let's continue on. Number 7, they said, is Wii Sports Resort by Nintendo. Sold, released on July 25th, 2009. Sold 38.14 million units, gross 2.2. Again, still lower than Pokemon Red and Blue. Grand Theft Auto 4 by Rockstar, which came out April 2009. Or, sorry, April 29th, 2008. Jesus. Sold 29 million units. Revenue is $2.5 billion grossed revenue, which is right on par with Pokemon Red and Blue. Okay. And number 5, they said, is Super Mario Bros. By Nintendo, which debuted in September 13th, 1985. Sold 40.24 million units, and it grossed $4.02 billion. Then Wii Sports at number 4, also by Nintendo. It debuted November 19th, 2006, sold 82.9 million units, and gross revenue was $2.4 billion. Again, lower than Pokemon Red and Blue and Grand Theft Auto 4. Whatever. Tetris. This one doesn't really surprise me at all. Publisher is the Tetris Company. Release date June 6, 1984. It sold 520 million units. Its gross revenue is $4.38 billion. Number 2, again, this is not a surprise. Grand Theft Auto 5 by Rockstar, which was released September 17, 2013. Units sold is 170 million, and the gross revenue on that one is $6.5 billion. Number 1, highest grossing video game according to Google Bard, is Minecraft by Mahjong Studio, released May 17th, 2009. Units sold is 238 million, and its gross revenue is $2.38 billion. So here's the thing I took away from this. If any of this data, or if all this data is 100% accurate, or even let's say 95% accurate, the highest grossing revenue game they have is Minecraft. Yeah, its revenue is 2.38 billion, which is lower than Grand Theft Auto 4, Tetris, Wii Sports, Super Mario Brothers, Grand Theft Auto 4, Pokemon Red and Blue. So it should be fairly low down this list, but the fact that it's somehow higher, I guess I don't understand why they have Minecraft up there at that high. Just based upon the statistics they're releasing. Again, this is all by Google AI, so who the fuck knows? But also, I'm sure there's more like, oh, anyways, we won't get to it. We have a whole episode coming up about that shit. All right, let's go through another episode. We have personal pet peeve. Let's see if it can generate a story. Okay, so tell me a story about someone who served during World War II and survived. Alright, so I typed into Google Bar, tell me a story about someone who served during World War II and survived. Now, honestly, there should be like a shit ton of these because a bunch of people survived. Okay, so here's one. It says, sure, here's a story about World War II veteran who survived. Maria Osowski. Osowski. Okay. Maria Osowski was a Polish civilian living in Zakopane, Poland. Oh my god, I'm going to butcher all of this. When the Second World War began. During the war, non-Jewish Poles were conscripted into forced labor in Germany, and Maria's parents sent her to live with family in Warsaw in an attempt to save her from being called up. In 1943, Maria was arrested by the Gestapo and taken to Auschwitz concentration camp. She was forced to work in the camp's labor force, where she was subjected to harsh conditions and brutal treatment. In 1945, Maria was liberated by the Soviet Army. She was one of the few survivors of Auschwitz. After the war, Maria returned to Poland and married a man named Alex. They had 2 children and eventually settled in Britain. Maria never forgot her experience in Auschwitz and spoke about her Holocaust through her life. Spoke about the Holocaust through her life. She was a tireless advocate for Holocaust education and remembrance, and she helped to ensure the stories of the survivors would be heard. Maria Ossowski died in 2017 at the age of 92. She was a remarkable woman who survived one of the darkest periods in human history. Her story is a testament to the human spirit and power of hope. Here is a quote from her. I survived Auschwitz because I never gave up hope. I knew that one day I would be free. Dude. Yeah. With everything going on right now, we're not going to, like I said, we don't discuss politics or anything, but I know there's a bunch of people out there, and it's probably going to be a sore subject, but there's a bunch of people out there who are, for whatever reason, saying this event didn't happen. Get your head out of your ass. That's all I'm going to say. Let's move on. I'm not going to talk about it. I knew the likelihood would pop up, but whatever. Let's do this. What are some unknown struggles of being a parent? A stay-at-home parent. All right, we're going to ask Google Bard that and see what it comes up with. What are some unknown struggles of being a stay-at-home parent? You know, I'm a stay-at-home parent. Let's see if any of this applies to me. No, this doesn't apply to me, but let's go on. According to Google Bard, here are some unknown struggles of being a stay-at-home parent. Lack of adult interaction. Stay-at-home parents often feel isolated and lonely. They may not have much contact with other adults during the day, and they may miss the stimulating conversation and intellectual challenges that come with working outside the home. No. To be honest with you, no, nope. I've worked way too much in public space. I don't give a shit about that. I get to talk to my wife, and I enjoy being harassed by my kids, for the most part. Anyways, let's move on. Feeling like a failure. This is something that, it's not just a stay-at-home parent. All parents go through this at some point in their life. It's feeling like a failure. Stay-at-home parents may feel like they are not doing a good job if their children are not always happy or well-behaved. They may also feel like they are not contributing financially to the family, which can lead to feelings of inadequacy. I know I didn't properly say that. Leave me alone. Nope. All right. Feeling trapped is another one. Stay-at-home parents may feel like they are trapped in a rut. They may feel like they are doing the same thing every day, and they may not have any time or energy to themselves. I felt that more working in the public space, where it's just day in, day out, same thing. Whereas at home, it's never the same. It's always something different. Kids always want to do something different. Summer break coming around, you know, we do a bunch of things and we stay busy. So I can see how some parents, stay-at-home parents, would feel that. Right. Another one is feeling like they are losing their identity. Stay-at-home parents may feel like they are losing their identity as a person. They may no longer be defined by their career, and they may not know who they are outside of being a parent. I get this one. I do. 100%. Again, I think this is also just parents and as a whole. It's kind of the multiple way street, honestly. So I know there's definitely parents who feel like they are defined solely by their career and not what they have contributed into their children's life, and they're worried that their children are going to remember the lack of that parent being home. I get that. I fully understand. So I mean, yeah. And then I also get how some people who are stay-at-home parents feel like they're defined by everything their kids do and how their kids are behaved and how their kids are interpreted and how they're doing and living vicariously through them, that they can't get a job, they can't get a career going because they've lost that what's the word I'm looking for? They lost the ambition, maybe the know-how of what their career should be or what their interests are, because they just have little micro hobbies. Which also why I'm seeing a lot of stay-at-home parents, or just parents in general too, get into the streaming aspect of content creation because it allows you to relate with so many other people on a grand stage more than just, you know, your significant other. But anyways, last one, according to Google Bard, is feeling like they are not making a difference. This one kind of goes in hand, honestly, with the last, well, with all of them, honestly, except for lack of adult interaction. Stay-at-home parents may feel like they are not making a difference in the world. They may feel like they are just raising their children for someone else to take care of when they are older. And then lastly, it says it's important to remember that being a stay-at-home parent is a challenging but rewarding job. Stay-at-home parents are essential to the well-being of their children, and they should be proud of the work they do. If you are a stay-at-home parent, there are many resources available to help you cope with the challenges and find support. Which there's a ton of amazing communities out there, both for stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home dads, stay-at-home parents in general. There's a ton for stay-at-home moms. There's a lot for stay-at-home dads, put it in perspective. And hell, there's even some, I don't know if my city does it. I think we do. Not sure. But there's a lot of cities out there where if you are a stay-at-home parent, there's even some organizations where they basically host an event for the stay-at-home parent to bring their kid, and they all just kind of hang out, communicate, talk with each other, and it's ran by some organization. I know a city near me had something during COVID when it was kicking off or settling down, technically, so a year ago. Last summer, there was an event just about an hour and a half away from me where it was for stay-at-home moms, ran by an organization, but it allowed all the moms to collectively gather around at this fairly nice, like a hotel type location. I don't think it was a hotel, but a fancy location. And there was events going on for the children to take part in, for all ages, from brand new babies all the way up to pre-K. And they had something going on, and you were able to, it was completely free. You're just able to be there with other parents and kind of just talk, which was really cool. Again, I wasn't allowed to participate because, stay-at-home dad, not stay-at-home mom. But I've seen a few for stay-at-home dads and stay-at-home parents in general. It's amazing opportunity. So if you're someone who is an extrovert, or you're just feeling like you need that interaction, definitely go online, Google it. Stay-at-home parents events. Go on Facebook. I know there's a bunch of communities on there. Also be careful with those two, because where there's good, there's also evil. As cheesy as it is to say that, it's very, very true. Very true. All right. Let's see. What's another one we could do? Well, let's do music, movies, and TV shows. So, list the top 5 movies of all time. Let's just do that. So we'll just say list the top 5 movies of all times, and we'll do the same thing with music and TV shows and see what Google Bard comes up with. So, top 5 movies of all time according to Google Bard. Come on. All right. Let's see. Here's a list of top 5 movies of all time according to the Internet Movie Database, IMDb. These movies are all critically acclaimed and have been praised for their acting, directing, writing, and overall quality. They are considered to be some of the best movies ever made and have stood the test of time. It's important to note that this is just a list of the top 5 movies of all times, and there are other great movies that could have been included. Ultimately, what makes a movie great is subjective and depends on the individual user. True. Anyways, top 5 movies starting from the bottom to the top. So number 5 is 12 Angry Men's, 1957. Number 4 is Godfather Part 2, 1974. The Dark Knight, number 3, which came out in 2008. Number 2 is The Godfather, 1972. And number 1, Shawshank Redemption, 1994. Yeah. I'm good with all those. I mean, if those are the top 5 movies, that's not a bad batch at all. Dark Knight was a good one too. It doesn't really go in with the other 4, but it's a good one. All right, let's move on. What are the top 5 songs? Yeah, songs of all time. Let's see what this comes out with. Top 5 songs of all time according to Google Bard. And I have all of these on my playlist at all times. All right. According to Google Bard, there is no definitive answer to this question as different people have different tastes in music. However, here are 5 songs that are often considered to be among the best of all time. These songs are all classics that have stood the test of time. They are loved by people of all ages and from all walks of life. They are all well written, well performed, and emotionally powerful. They are songs that can make you feel something, whether it's joy, sadness, love, or hope. It's important to know that this is just a list of 5 songs. There's many other great songs that have been included. Objectively, this is subjective and depends on listener. Blah blah. Yeah, music, TV shows, and movies will do that. They're subjective. But according to Google Bard, the top 5 songs of all time. Number 5 is Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen. Number 4 is What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. Number 3 is Imagine by John Lennon. Number 2 is Hey Jude by the Beatles. And number 1, Bohemian. I'm butchering this. Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. Goddamn, could not say that fucking word. Amazing song. You all know it. If you don't know it, fucking rock do you live under? These are all great songs. Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen is a great version of it. It's for me, that's one of those songs I can listen by several other artists, and if an artist does a cover of this and they're known for something else, like Theory of a Dead Man did a cover of this song and their version is amazing. But there's been other people who have done covers of this where they're known for like heavy rock or pop, and then when they've done the cover for Hallelujah, it's just like, no, and it kind of leaves a sour taste in my mouth. But just my opinion. These are all great songs. I don't know if I would put them in that order. Bohemian Rhapsody would definitely be in my top 5. Yeah, but my top 5 always changes too. But I always listen to that song. It's on every playlist I have. So let's move on. What are the top 5 TV shows of all time? All right, Google Bard, what you got? And again, remember, it's important to note that this is just a list of the top 5 TV shows, and there's a bunch of other that could have been included, but ultimately this is subjective and depends on an individual watcher. So, with that out of the way, there's no definitive answer to this question, as different people, yes. However, here are the top 5 shows that are often considered to be among the best of all time. These shows are critically acclaimed and have been praised for their acting, writing, directing, overall quality, and again, have been considered some of the best shows ever made and stood the test of time. Number 5. The Simpsons started in 1989 and is still going to this day, the day of the recording. Number 4, Game of Thrones from 2011 to 2019. Look. Game of Thrones was a if you include all the seasons, it was good. If you include the last season, or if you remove the last season, season and a half, 2 seasons, I believe it was, but definitely the last season where they just kind of coasted through and it was really shittily done and rushed. Removing that last one altogether would make it a great TV series, but that last one really took it down a peg. I don't know if I would categorize as of all time. Just my opinion. And I just got done watching all the seasons too last year, and that last one really pissed me off, like it did so many other people. It was rushed and poorly done. Anyways, number 3, The Wire, which was on from 2002 to 2008. Never got into it, but it was good. Number 2 is Breaking Bad, 2008 to 2013. That always seems to be a, lack of a better word, controversial one, because you either love Breaking Bad or you don't. I mean, there's not a lot of people like, at least not that I met. And then number 1, The Sopranos from 1999 to 2007. I would almost flip the script on all these, or not even. I would take 1 through 4 and push them down and put Simpsons, which is at number 5. I put that at number 1 for the pure fact of the creativeness of it, the fact that it's still going, and the huge the huge predictions that Simpsons have gotten very right on the nose. And now there's a bunch of conspiracy theories based around Matt Groening. Is that right? Or is that South Park? I always get writers mixed up. But the writer and producer of Simpsons being time travelers, I love that conspiracy theory. We got time. Let's do top 5 conspiracy theories of all times. We're already talking about it. Let's just what are let's do statistically. So statistically speaking, what are the most popular conspiracy theories? Statistically speaking, what are the most popular conspiracy theories? Let's see what Google Bard comes up with. All right, so this is an old survey. According to a 2021 survey by the Pew Research Center, the most popular conspiracy theories in the United States are as follows. Number 5, the belief that the earth is flat. Look, we did a whole fucking episode talking about conspiracy theory, and we spent a lot of time on the earth is flat theory. It's a hot dog. No, I'm kidding. Fuck off. Number 4, the belief that climate change is a hoax. Ooh, this next one's a very popular one. I've heard it my entire life. I'm sure people before my age have heard this their entire life. But the belief that vaccines cause autism, even though they have scientific evidence to prove that it doesn't, but it's a huge conspiracy theory. Number 2, the belief that the government is spying on citizen. I mean, these next two honestly have a lot of backing to make it more than just a conspiracy theory, but yeah, I can get where people get that. There's a lot of information out there, and there's a lot of things unknown still. Number 1, the belief that the government is hiding information about the 9/11 attacks. Again, these two have a lot of information out there that make them very believable. More so than any of the other ones, especially vaccines causing autism. Like, that's not, we have proof that vaccines do not, but whatever. But yeah, these top 2 about the government, yeah. If you're gonna believe in conspiracy theory, I guess believe in those 2. They're the most believable ones. It says these conspiracy theories are often spread through social media, online platforms. They can have a significant impact on people's beliefs and behaviors. For example, the belief that vaccines cause autism has led parents to refuse to vaccinate their children, which has put them at risk for preventable diseases. It's important to be aware that conspiracy theories it's important to be aware of these conspiracy theories and to critically evaluate the information that you see online. Not all conspiracy theories are created equal, and some can be harmful to your health or well being. If you are unsure about the validity of a conspiracy theory, it's always best to consult with a trusted source, such as a doctor or scientist. Scientists, I will say that. Scientists. And not like a social media scientist, if you know what I'm talking about, the ones that are like, I went to Google. No, listen, YouTube University, Google University does not make you a scientist. It doesn't. So we're just getting it out there because yeah, I'll dive deep into it, and we'll talk about it actually in an episode with Rahgel when I get him back on. But without further ado, let's wrap this up. Again, this entire episode is brought by, and it's not paid. It's not paid advertisement. We're not sponsored. Like I said at the top of this, I really enjoy AI. I enjoy all these AI generation programs that have been coming out as of late. They're amazing, whether it's the ones on TikTok and Snapchat where there's an AI filter on you, or it's like ChatGPT, which is basically what Bard is, just not as well. ChatGPT is amazing, and we will do an episode, but I want Rahgel to be on that one. So I took a step down, just did one on Google's new AI Bard, which is an experiment, and we typed in and we've done all the questions we asked are based off of episodes of which we have recorded already, and just kind of see how they align with previous episodes. But we'll get more into this. There's a lot you can do. I have a game edition coming up where we will be quizzing Rahgel with AI generated images that he'll have to kind of figure out what that image was supposed to be or what it represents. So stay tuned for that. And as always, don't forget, if you're interested in seeing us live every Thursday night at around 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, you can catch Rahgel and I live streaming together, playing video games and hanging out and having fun. And it's a whole different aspect of Two Guys One Gamepad. All the links you can find on our website. And of course, if you are interested in being on a future episode or have an idea, just contact us as well at contact@twoguysOneGamepad.com or visit twoguysOneGamepad.com in general. But other than that, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's episode about Google Bard AI. And let me know what you think. Other than that, next time you'll be hearing this amazing voice will be when Rahgel's back. So without further ado, take care and thanks for listening. Until next time, everyone.